Dave here. We are here in the Impact Tech booth, and this is basic training for how to turn on the sound system. Let's go ahead and start. If we look down here, there are two switches to turn on. The first switch is going to be right here. It's called sound power, and there is an arrow pointing to a switch right here. I'm going to turn that on. It's just a big toggle switch. You'll hear some clicking going on, and you'll see these lights illuminate. This switch here turns on the soundboard. The second switch we need to throw is going to be over on the left rack right here, and this one is called Sound Power 2, and hopefully you can see this arrow points to a small switch right here just beside this Lowell label here. When I flip that switch, these lights illuminate, and this turns on all of the amplifiers in the back room. We have a few things to do on the board. If you see this message pop up here, it's asking us to log into the computer, or the soundboard. So we're going to do the password, which is all caps THEVINE, which is the Vine, and we'll hit OK. If you are a regular ministry user, most likely you have a scene that is for your ministry, like Celebrate Recovery. And in that case, you would simply use these gray buttons here to scroll to the correct scene that you need. Once you find it, you then hit recall, and the board will then snap to the correct settings for your ministry. Let me quickly walk through a couple of commonly asked questions and features that people need to know how to use for the sound system here in the building. The first are the most commonly used soundboard channels. The computer channel right here is all of the sound that comes from this computer over here on the left of the booth. There is another basic training video on how to use the MediaShout computer. Be sure to watch that if you're going to be using that machine. Back to the soundboard, this white fader here will go up, and the higher the fader is, the louder it will be. There's an on-off button right here. When the on-off button is lit up, the channel's on. When it's not lit up, the channel's off. The second most commonly used channel is going to be on the top right. These two handheld faders here and here are the handheld microphones. Be sure to watch the other basic training video on the microphones and where they're stored to know where we keep these and how to use them. But this is where handheld 1, 2, and then lapels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are saved. A lot of people ask about the sound in the worship space versus the sound out in the cafe and the lounge. The sound in the worship space here, coming through the speakers in this room, are controlled by this red fader right here called stereo. And if this fader is ever turned all the way down and or turned off, there won't be any sound in this room. So make sure this fader is always up and turned to 0, and then the channel's turned on. And then the cafe sound right here on buttons 9 through 16. I'm going to push that button there. And then right here on the screen it says cafe. And this whole strip, which is coincidentally number 2, is the level for the sound that goes into the cafe and the lounge. It's all the same system. So if you don't want sound in the cafe or the lounge, you turn off this channel here and bring the fader down. You can have one thing turned off while the other is turned up, or you can alternate. Have the sound off in here and the sound on in the cafe. It's completely up to you. Those are the basics for the sound system in the worship space. If you do need more help than this, or you have more of a complex mix that you need for sound, let one of the tech guys know here at the church, me included, and we'll be happy to help you out. Thanks.